linchpin. He's at number 3, and playing at back is Roberto Zeta. What an impressive team performance this Colorado side put in the first game, and we are underway in the first chucker. Out the back of the line out, it's going to be picked up by Kean Hall. Kean Hall with the pass, looking for Nero, but there in defense was Zeta, turning it around quickly for Colorado now, and here comes Spinacci on the near side, having a look to see where Rob Janavas goes. Rob Janavas wants to pass, but Cambiasso just snuck him down, got the hook, and he'll come away. Kean Hall making sure that Diego Kavanagh can't get anywhere near him, so Adolfo Cambiasso just taps that ball up the ground, having a look now to see where the players go. It's Cambiasso tapping the ball over the halfway line, under pressure well from Rob Janavas, and Janavas then has to concede possession. Adolfo Cambiasso just tapping it underneath the ponies, about 70 yards out of goal now for Valiente, claiming the line. Janavas will have to get out of the way. Cambiasso, he hits it long, the little golf chip up towards the goal. It's rolling. Zed has got to get there, and he does. Clearing with the open backhand. Who's there first? So it's Nero. Nero with the shot in for Pony, and Diego Kavanagh, as play slows down, is able to bring it away now for Colorado. Kavanagh taps it left. Rob Janavas, he goes down the ground, but it's good work by Agustin Nero, taking the ball away from his Argentine compatriot Diego Kavanagh. Nero now with the tap underneath the pony's neck. Diego Kavanagh not giving up. Lovely pass to Nero, and it's Kean Hall. This looks like 1 goal to love in favour of Valiente straight away, and what a chance, what an opening for the favourites. They lead 1 goal to love. As we go back here on the instant replay, Kean Hall, calm as you like here with the tap, just has a look. Roberto Zeta, he'd given up the chase, and Kean Hall just walks it through the goalpost, and Valiente they lead early here. 1.5 minutes played. Roberto Zeta bringing the ball in off the back line. Remember those rules we're playing out here. When you concede a goal, you have a ball off the back line. We don't go back to the middle. Ends they only change at halfway point as Bob Janavas gets the better of his son Rob and hits the little open backhand, looking for Adolfo Cambiasso, but quick onto it was Spinacci. Adolfo Cambiasso steals it. Cambiasso now tapping it. He's got the 2 Colorado players to deal with. Diego Kavanagh will be reluctant to commit too much with Valiente players behind, so he leaves it instead for Spinacci to battle it out with Adolfo and Diego. That's why he did that. He comes away with the ball. Leaves it now for Roberto Zeta. The open backhand hit, looking for a run of Diego Kavanagh. There though is Adolfo Cambiasso, called for the tail backhand. Instead he goes open. It's into the pony, and now's a chance for Spinacci to break for Colorado. Spinacci over the halfway line, being chased hard by Kean Hall as Spinacci just taps it again forward. Adolfo Cambiasso waiting patiently. Kean Hall, he goes back as well, so Spinacci will more than likely keep it, waiting for Adolfo Cambiasso just to commit before he hits it, which he now does, and it's Rob Janavas up on his own. Can he pick up the bouncing ball? He can first time, he can second time, but it's wide to the left hand side. What a chance for Rob Janavas there on the near side. You see the intention there. They will wait for Adolfo Cambiasso to commit to the play before hitting it long, as he did there. But in the end, it's Adolfo with the ball on the back line. You see here that drone view we have here on Polo Channel, just showing you the way he sets his players up. They all go straight initially, then they make moves for Adolfo Cambiasso. Now look at Kean Hall wanting the pass. Hall wants it up long, and the pass is delivered. Hall will get there on the offside in front of Roberto Zeta. Zeta just forcing Kean Hall to stop and come on in the inside. He couldn't quite manage it, and Diego Kavanagh now picks it up for Colorado. Colorado, they trail. Just about 3.5 minutes played here in the opening chucker, but Kavanagh opening up some space for him. Look at Janavas again. Cambiasso waiting at the back. Again, Kavanagh will wait for Cambiasso to move, which he did, and Rob Janavas will get there in front of Adolfo. Adolfo coming back hard for the hook. He takes a hook, and he takes the ball as well. And now, with the time to turn, no Colorado player near their number 1, Rob Janavas, that time, so the ball goes out left, looking for Bob Janavas. Bob Janavas now over the halfway line, going back hard is Roberto Zeta, and Zeta will have it on the near side. Little flick, looking for Spinacci, and he just about gets away with it. Spinacci rides Kean Hall out the play, but Adolfo, he comes in again. Cambiasso seems to be everywhere so far. It's Agustin Nero. It's Nero now with the run into the 60, into the 40. Lovely flick out the air by Roberto Zeta. Nothing wrong with that, save the umpires. Nero left frustrated with his appeal, and now the chance for Colorado to counter. Coming back hard is Kean Hall, but Roberto Zeta, he gets there first. Slows down initially, then looks to go. Roberto Zeta over the halfway line in front of Kean Hall. Roberto Zeta now into the 60. Where's Adolfo? Adolfo's out the equation, so Zeta with the shot. Bob Janavas, he's there, appeals for foul, but in the end it was good work by Bob Janavas. Falling dead now for Diego Kavanagh, but the umpires, they have blown their whistle. A flag's actually waving. I'm not sure they haven't given the goal. We'll see here. No, Adolfo claiming the line. But back in the action, it's Adolfo Cambiasso with the spot penalty. Coming in to take him on is Rob Janavas, but Cambiasso goes through him, and now Cambiasso puts on the burner. He wanted the pass, but a rare mistake by Adolfo, and is picked up now by Bob Janavas. Bob Janavas running up over the halfway line. Rob Janavas, he's there putting on the pressure. The umpires blow their whistle. It looked from here as if Rob Janavas had to go on the near side. We will see on the instant replay as the umpires move the ball up to the 60-yard spot in favour of Valiente here. You see clearly Bob Janavas with the tap here. He's called off by Adolfo. Rob had to go on the near side, coming across on the offside, and it's going to be a penalty shot in favour of the blue shirts, who lead still 1-0, 1 minute and 20 remaining in the opening chukker. He will return to Argentina following this tournament, looking for a triple crown there as well. He lost out, of course, to Facundo Pires in the British Open, so he'll be desperate to make a statement. And what a 60 that is. It looks good from here, and it is good. It's straight through the centre of the goal, and Valiente now they lead 2-0. Colorado with the ball on the back line. Under pressure at the moment, just seem unable to control the sweeper that is Adolfo Cambiasso. And it's fair with Roberto Zeta. Under the next shot, looking for Diego Cavana close. Cavana will pick it up in front of Agustin Nero. Nero putting on the pressure. Diego Cavana looked for the pass to Rob Janavas, but they're in trouble. Oh, Cambiasso went to meet it. 9 times out of 10 he'll get that, but Rob Janavas, good control by him, and he now leaves it for Diego Cavana. Cavana looking to open up for the first time this afternoon. He's got Bob Janavas back. Lovely cut shot by Diego Cavana up towards the goal, but there is Bob Janavas playing the back position superbly there. Called for the tail backhand, but it's going to be picked up again by Diego Cavana, leaving it for Roberto Zeta. Zeta with the shot up towards the goal. He's got to go for a big neck shot from here. It's rolling, but it's just going to roll wide to the right-hand side of the goalpost. Bob Janavas was watching it closely. 2-0 it remains. Final 20 seconds of this first chukker. Adolfo Cambiasso with the ball on the back line. Adolfo tapping it. Having a look to see where the players are. Again, he goes out left and instantly draws 2 of the Colorado players to him. Bob Janavas, he wants to pass this. Adolfo can see him, which he does. And Janavas will pick it up just about on the halfway line as we hear the bell to bring an end to the first chukker with 30 seconds remaining. And it's going to go now for Spinacci. Spinacci with the tap. Kian Hall closing him down. Spinacci looks up. He's got Rob Janavas up the front, but it may only come as far as Kian Hall. Good near side backhand by Kian Hall. Went for the final 10 of a 30, and it's going to be there with Spinacci. Under the next shot, looking for runner Kavanagh, but it's still up against the boards, and this time he does find the meet. It's going for Rob Janavas. Does he have time? He doesn't quite pick up the ball even. Adolfo Cambiasso with the tail backhand, and there does go the bell to bring an end to the first chukker. Good opening chukker for the team in blue. They lead this game 2-0. I know it is just going to be a roll in, but it's directly on the 60, so we are back underway, and it's picked up there by Diego Cavana. Cavana with the shot, looking for Spinacci. Spinacci needed the open backhand towards the goal, but it may yet work for them, as it's there now with Diego Cavana. Diego Cavana in range with the shot through the goal. Lovely finish by Diego Cavana, and Colorado, they are on the board. Easy as you like. Cavana forcing the space. 2-1, they now trail. Valiente coming with the ball on back line, but as you look at this instant replay, Diego Cavana, he had the time and space to turn. 2 men round him, just hits it first time, simple as you like, through the goal. And back on the field now. The knock-in was not good this time by Valiente, and Cavana will pick it up again in space. This is what Colorado need, as Cavana now going back towards his own goal. He's got Roberto Zeta going for the open if he wants to use him. Instead, he chooses to keep it himself, hitting it one more time up towards Kian Hall. Kian Hall putting on the pressure. Lovely neck shot there by Diego Cavana up towards the boards, and it will bounce over the board, so we will just have a roll in, but a good signal of intent there from Diego Cavana. We only change directions at the halfway point as Adolfo Cambiasso picks it up the end of the line out. You can't let that man go from there as he just keeps it. A little bit of a lucky deflection under pressure from Diego Cavana. Back it goes Spinacci with Agustin Nero, and Spinacci, he'll get there first on the near side. Nero appealing for a foul, nothing coming, but it's too straight by Spinacci, and Adolfo Cambiasso will pick it up in front of Diego Cavana. Cambiasso now giving a little give and go in front of Diego Cavana. Cavana can't match him, and it's Adolfo now coming through at speed. Look at Adolfo go on Cressita, tapping it into the 30. He's 20 yards out. What an individual goal that is by Adolfo Cambiasso. Easy as you like, and his team have daylight to gain. 3-1 they lead. See Adolfo Cambiasso just got away from Cavana, and from there no one was going to stop him. Good work by Bob Janavas to keep Pablo Spinacci occupied, and Cambiasso, easy as you like. Look at that again by Bob Janavas. Spinacci there couldn't get anywhere near Adolfo. 3-1. Just over 4 minutes remaining here in the second chukker. Ball on the back line then with Colorado under pressure. There with Roberto Zeta. Zeta, long lofted shot down the ground, but it's only going to go as far as Kean Hall. Kean Hall will turn it round in front of Diego Kavanagh, coming on the inside, giving himself the time. Now watch where Agustin Nero goes. Nero wants a pass, and he may yet get there in front of Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh ushering the man out the way. Ooh, not a lot on the backhand. It falls to Kean Hall. Kean Hall to make it 4 under pressure from Roberto Zeta, but not enough. And it is 4-1 in favour of the blue Valiente side. Pre-tournament favourites for many of this Valiente side. Defeated finalists in the opening tournament. You see Diego Kavanagh there on the replay. Needed a bit more distance on that backhand. Kean Hall was the man who picked up on the mistake. Now Roberto Zeta looks to get going quickly, looking for Rob Janavas. Sun takes on farther now. Rob claiming the line. Spinacci, great play by Rob Janavas, and suddenly Valiente have been slit wide open, and it's Pablo Spinacci with the approach shot up towards the goal. Back goes Bob Janavas, but it's Spinacci surely. 4-2. What a finish by Pablo Spinacci. Great play though by Rob Janavas, spotting his man go. Spinacci had the faith, and what a pass that was. Spinacci picking it up there about 80 yards out. Bob Janavas thought better of putting on the pressure. He was never going to get his man, and he's, as you like, 4-2 now. Colorado, they trail. Cambiasso with the knock-in. Again, using Bob Janavas as that blocker. Just tapping it now. Bob Janavas goes to a pass. Good play there by Bob Janavas and Cambiasso, knowing exactly what each other wanted to do, as Bob Janavas now over the halfway line picks up the bouncy ball, and Roberto Zeta's got to go some to catch him here. Here's Bob Janavas with the approach shot towards the goal. Can he come back on it? No, not quite, and it's going to be Roberto Zeta with the time to bring it round. Diego Kavanagh will look to keep Kean Hall occupied, but Kean Hall steals it with the backhand tail. Backhand a little overexcited maybe, and it goes wide to the right-hand side. And Valiente defending now as Colorado bring the ball in with Roberto Zeta looking for a run of Rob Janavas, but they showed too much of it to Adolfo Cambiasso, and Cambiasso will get their huge open backhand. Kean Hall though hadn't quite read it, so it is Roberto Zeta with plenty of time, using Diego Kavanagh this time as the blocker. Kavanagh takes Kean Hall away. Zeta now has a look up. He's got Spinacci and Rob Janavas both in front of him. Cambiasso making life very difficult for them as he just floats, but now he's caught in between two, and Spinacci the pass is on if he can find it, but Adolfo Cambiasso is able just to reach behind and flick the ball away, and Agustin Nero now will get there, just turning it around. This time Kean Hall's used as a blocker, and Agustin Nero looks up to see where Bob Janavas goes. Agustin Nero going on his own. Coming back though in defence is Diego Kavanagh. Nothing wrong with that as he now brings the ball here in front of both Janavas and Agustin Nero. Kavanagh hooked out of it well by Nero, and the ball goes over the boards, and it will be a roll in with just over a minute remaining here in this second chukker. 6 chukkers, of course, 6 minutes per chukker in this tournament. Players line up, ball in play. Kean Hall picks it up straight away. Under pressure well by Roberto Zeta. He'll be called to the open backhand down the boards by Diego Kavanagh. That's the play they needed, and they get it. Kavanagh, though, deflects it off a pony, and it falls for Nero. Nero. Have a look for Cambiasso. Little flick backhand by Nero. That's the play that Cambiasso wanted, and he got it. Lovely pass by Adolfo. And suddenly the game wide open here for Kean Hall. Coming at speed as Roberto Zeta looks to close down the angle. Kean Hall keeping calm. Slows it down. Runs it through. Leaves it behind, and the backup's not there. So it will go wide. And Spinacci, just seeing it won't go out of play, so he keeps it in. Kean Hall keeping close. What a chance that was for Kean Hall. But here come Colorado with Rob Janavas. Back are both Agustin Nero and Bob Janavas. Rob hits it a little bit long over the halfway line. Going back with him is Agustin Nero. Rob Janavas leaves it behind. The backup's not there, and Kean Hall will be there for Valiente. Bringing it round on the near side. Confident, strong play again by Kean Hall as he now finds it on the offside and hits the pass up to his 6-goal teammate Agustin Nero. Nero ridden out of it by Spinacci, who hits the backhand. Great angle there on the backhand, allowing Diego Kavanagh to pick it up in space, but he's now got the double defensive act of Cambiasso and Bob Janavas to take. Rob Janavas, he goes up for the pass. The first bell's gone. We got 30 seconds. What a shot by Rob Janavas. It's going up towards the goal, but it will go wide to the left-hand side. We'll see if it stays in play. Rob Janavas may come onto it himself, but it does just go over the back line. That will be an end to the second chukker. 4-2. Valiente, they lead. It's almost a dual sweeper system by Valiente today, playing with Adolfo Cambiasso and Bob Janavas very far back, and that makes it so difficult for Colorado. Though you did see risk that Adolfo Cambiasso once did get caught in the middle of no man's land, but Spinacci was unable to deliver a pass. And this is what Adolfo does so well. He gives it to Bob Canaves with so much time and space, but Bob over the top of the ball, and it's going to be picked up now by Pablo Spinacci. Spinacci running up against Kean Hall. Kean Hall looking for the hook, and he does well, and Nero, though, leaves it behind, and Roberto Zeda, he will pick it up. Zeda just tapping it on the inside. Bob Canaves has no play. Rob Canaves coming in behind Zeda with the shot. He would have perhaps been better just taking that a little further himself. And Valiente now on the counter with Agustin Nero. Nero coming down to a halt. Rob Canaves putting on good pressure. Great play by Rob Canaves. Adolfo Cambiasso wanted a foul from Rob, but nothing coming from the umpires. So Rob now would just take it out towards the boards. Under pressure still from Agustin Nero. Turning it back. Great play here by Rob Canaves, showing the high goal is how it's done, and Adolfo eventually steals it away from Diego Cavana, turning it up on the inside. Adolfo hits it down, looking for run of Agustin Nero. It may fall yet for Kean Hall, but Roberto Zeda closes down all angles, and he's got the under the neck shot. Oh, has he hit it with enough length? The umpires may look at that, and they do. They blow the whistle. Pablo Spinacci coming down. Roberto Zeda needed more distance. As we go back to the replay here, you can see the idea was to find Spinacci. Kean Hall very reads it. The line being picked up, Spinacci found himself all over the place, and in the end, offside, he may have got away with it. Near side, it was always going to be blown. It's going to be a penalty up close, 60-yarder for Valiente, already scoring one of those. Again, you just see that good spot by Kean Hall, picking up the line. And Adolfo Cambiasso will come round here. Adolfo takes a look, hits it long, hits it high, and it's just wide to the left-hand side this time. As players line up again. Up there on that horse Cresciente he was. But it's here now with Roberto Zeda. Zeda, fortunate that last mistake, didn't cause a goal, and it's Rob Canaves now fighting hard with Agustin Nero, and Nero it is who gets the better of young Rob Canaves. Nero with the tap up against the boards. Kean Hall, he's got loads of space if Nero can see him. Spotting that though was Roberto Zeda, so Nero will keep it close. There comes Diego Cavana, stealing it off Nero and waiting for him patiently is Bob Canaves. Good play by Bob on the near side, taking it up again. Bob Canaves towards the 60-yard line now. Diego Cavana is coming back. Bob Canaves just taking it out far, giving himself space and time. It will deflect off the boards and stay in play. Bob Canaves eventually gives up the ghost, and Diego Cavana will claim the ball. Gives it now to Roberto Zeda, and suddenly, look at that, just like that, two Valiente players are out the equation, and it's free take one if Roberto Zeda can make something of it. But in that attempt to get there again, he shows too much to Adolfo. Adolfo, very rare mistake from him, and Pablo Spinacci under pressure by Kean Hall, can't make anything on it. So here comes Adolfo Cambiasso again, his trademark play, going left when everyone thought he'd go right. Adolfo Cambiasso looks up to see where Agustin Nero is. Under hit though, so there will be Pablo Spinacci, called for the tail backhand by Rob Canaves. It goes high and handsome, but only falls for Adolfo Cambiasso. Cambiasso now slowing it down. 3 minutes and a little bit remaining here in the first half, and Cambiasso hits it long for Agustin Nero. Spinacci beaten to it by Nero. Nero, he picks up the bouncing ball now, running. He's about 20 yards out from goal. Nero, has he found it? Yes, he has. Great goal by Agustin Nero. They now lead 5-2. Lovely pass by Adolfo. Kean Hall looked like he might try and make a go of it, but instead across comes Nero, claims the ball. Spinacci had nothing on him, and he was just able to walk that ball through the goalposts. 5-2. What a pass that was by Adolfo Cambiasso. So difficult to play against because you never know whether he's going to keep it and run himself there or just launch the rocket down the ground as he did there. And Nero was the beneficiary this time as players just go off and change again. Can Colorado make anything of it in this first half? Roberto Zeda looking up towards Kean Hall. The ball will go left for Diego Cavana. Cavana now to pick it up in front of both Nero and Adolfo Cambiasso. He may look to get rid of this quickly if he can, with Pablo Spinacci going down the ground. That's the play. Oh, Diego Cavana has left it a little short, and Cambiasso forcing that rush shot there from Diego Cavana. Picks it up now in front of Rob Canaves. Rob Canaves nothing on Adolfo Cambiasso there, so he brings it round again. Does the 10-goaler. Good persistent play though by Rob Canaves, but he just draws the whistle in the end. Just getting perhaps a little bit excited here as the replay will come in. Adolfo Cambiasso had the time and momentum to go there. Rob Janavas going for the hook. Had to stick to the near side there. Going in on the offside, they're always going to give that foul, so it's going to be penalty 5B now. Favour of Valiente. Adolfo there, you see. First time playing here in Denver, Colorado. Adolfo Cambias, and he had that added pleasure of playing the opening game with his son, Perotto. But out here now, it's Adolfo with the pass, looking for Kean Hall, who's on the runner, but spotting it well was Roberto Zeta. Zeta, bouncing ball. It may fall for Kean Hall unless Diego Kavanagh can say something about it. Nero comes across, runs into his own player. Umpires blow a whistle. We'll see if we can get an instant replay on that. It would be interesting to see what the umpires decide there. So it's picked up here by Kean Hall. He was well in his right to do that. Deflects off the pony of Kavanagh. I think that's a foul there. Spinacci claiming the line, and Agustin Nero belatedly running into his own player, Kean Hall. So it's going to be a spot hit in favour of Colorado. The foul given against. They've got to be well in reach of this game by Recife and stop Adolfo from doing all the damage on that one. And Zeda now hits the ball out wide, looking for a run of Diego Kavanagh, but it just stops dead against a horse, so Zeda will come back onto it. 2 minutes remaining here in this chukker. Roberto Zeda comes up against Hall again. This time wins the play. Adolfo Cambiasso was in, so they hit the lofted shot, and it's free take 2 now. Diego Kavanagh, they need to make the most of this as he hits the ball down the ground. Bob Janavas has no play as he's forced out wide, and Diego Kavanagh with the big under the neck shot rolling up towards the goal. Can Spinacci finish it off? Spinacci with the tap, but it's wide to the right-hand side. It was running right up towards that goal line. Such a tight angle. Good defensive play it was by Bob Janavas, forcing him there. As Adolfo Cambiasso now comes onto it again, using the blockers. Now he looks up long. Kean Hall had found the space, but Diego Kavanagh spotted it and went back. Here come on for play. Called for the backhand by Spinacci and Rob Janavas. If they're clever here, they may look for a backhand, but Janavas just goes over the top of the ball. Spinacci went for it. He was never going to get away with that one. It's going to be a penalty shot, 5B. As you see here, the backhand hit. The play here would have been a meet in a backhand, but when Adolfo Cambiasso claimed the line, Spinacci came across, opportunistic, looking for the ball. But the umpires quite rightly pull them back. Penalty 5B now in favour. Umpires cool play. Adolfo Cambiasso just instructing his troops again. Look at the speed of Nero. Cambiasso looks for Nero, go down the ground. It's all the greys coming together as Nero hits the under the neck shot. He's under pressure from Roberto Zeda. He won't get there. The ball will go over the back line as we approach final minute of this first half. 5-2 it remains. You saw there the plan from Adolfo. Send up the runners, put on the pressure, try and force a mistake, but Nero couldn't quite make the most of it. And Roberto Zeda now bringing the ball in on the back line. Looking right for Spinacci. He's hit it straight down the ground. Instead, though, from Rob Janavas. Rob Janavas picking it up hard, and he runs with Agustin Nero. Nero, though, has the man. Looks behind him to see where Adolfo Cambiasso is. Adolfo says, you go. He hits a tail backhand. Adolfo turning first in front of Spinacci, but eventually Spinacci will get there unless Kean Hall can do something about it. Hall getting there. Spinacci claiming the foul. Nothing coming, though. Save the umpires, and Kean Hall looks behind him to see where Adolfo is. Adolfo wants to pass. Kean making life difficult for Colorado. Great play by Kean Hall, and Adolfo picks it up all on his own. The defence has been carved open again, and with what will be the last play of this first chukker, Adolfo Cambiasso just taps it through. That goal was all about the work by Kean Hall, though, and they lead at the halfway point. Mirror image of their last game, 6-2. Lovely pass by Kean, and when you're a 10-goaler, picking up a pass like that from a 2-goaler, it's happy days. Adolfo Cambiasso just tapping, having a look up. No one near him. 6-2 at half-time. Giving us the sort of imagery that we have. But the ball is back in play, and it's going to be picked up by Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh needs to get some more control of this fixture if they're going to make a comeback here. As Kavanagh hits the long shot down the ground, but it's into the pony, and Adolfo Cambiasso, he will get there with time and space in front of Spinacci. Spinacci forcing Adolfo to hit it first time, looking for Kean Hall. Kean Hall now, if he looks up, he's got Agustin Nero running down the ground. He does. He delivers a great pass. Going back is Roberto Zeda. Zeda's got to get him, and he got a good hook, leaving it for Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh now bringing it round underneath the horse's neck. He's got Bob Janavas there. Bob Janavas coming in. Umpires say nothing wrong. Janavis throw nothing on it, and Diego Kavanagh now picks it up in front of Nero. Kavanagh slows it down. He's got Roberto Zeta behind him. He's got his other guys out in front. Spinacci wanting the pass, as is Rob Janavis. Kavanagh hits it long, looking for Janavis, but you've got to be careful with Adolfo Cambiasso around. Janavis, no play on it, so he'll have to concede the ball to Adolfo. Adolfo now bringing it round. He thought about going right. Instead, he goes out left. Good pressure, though, by Rob Janavis, getting the hook, and Kean Hall does go right. Keeping it on the inside, under pressure by Spinacci. Kean Hall still there though, picking it up, taking it up towards the running horses now. Diego Kavanagh waiting, but Kean Hall, he is there, still under control. Great play again by the young English player. Now he sees Adolfo, wanted the open backhand, but it's into the pony, and Diego Kavanagh flicks it out to Rob Janavis. Janavis gets through the hook of Adolfo Cambiasso, but couldn't pick up the bouncing ball. Cambiasso couldn't either. It's there with Roberto Zeta, long shot up towards the goal. Kean Hall's got to get a burst on if he's going to catch it, but he doesn't have to, because it's wide to the right-hand side. Adolfo Cambiasso with the ball on the back line. Sending Bob further up the field this time. So Adolfo looks out left towards Kean Hall. Hall will have to be quick though to get there in front of Roberto Zeta, who's called for the tail backhand. Instead goes open. Diego Kavanagh, he may get there despite the lack of length on the ball by Zeta, and he does indeed. Now he's called for the tail backhand, but the backhand's not finding their targets at the moment, and now it's Nero. Kean Hall wants to pass, but Nero can't get the pass either. An error strewn beginning to this fourth chukker as Roberto Zeta hits it out left, looking for Pablo Spinacci, but Adolfo Cambiasso sweeping up. He brings it out to his left. Spinacci, got to be careful not to commit and give Adolfo Cambiasso too much time. Under the next shot by Cambiasso, down the balls, looking for Bob Janavis, but there is Diego Kavanagh. He's got Kean Hall paying close attention, so he'll flick it up onto the near side, taking it around. He's got two Valiente players surrounding him. Bob not giving up the chase, and it's great play by Bob Janavis, giving it to Kean Hall, but the umpire's pulling back. We'll see here on the instant replay how close those two players were together. Kean Hall coming down the line. It was good pressure initially by Bob Janavis, forcing that mistake there, and Roberto Zeta coming down quick on the line, making something out of nothing, and Kean Hall coming across, so it's going to be a spot hit in favour of Colorado. Colorado, who beat Kentucky in that first game. It looks like if this result stays as it is, they will have a game against Hawaii Polo Life in which the winner will go through to the final. Valiente, this victory here will be enough to secure their passage through to the final, as the open backhand hit by Roberto Zeta, picked up though instead by Agustin Nero on the offside in front of Diego Kavanagh. Nero now. Cambiasso coming in behind. Kean Hall up, and Bob Janavis currently playing the sweeper role as we approach the halfway point of this fourth chukker. Pass down the ground, looking for Kean Hall. There though is Roberto Zeta, bringing it across. Kean Hall putting on the burst. He's got the speed, he's got the power as well, and he'll get the ball in front of Roberto Zeta. Open backhand, but it's only going to fall for... Well, it could have fallen for Diego Kavanagh, and eventually does come onto the ball, but it was only after a little flick shot by Agustin Nero as we come back on for replay here, claiming that line Nero was. Two other players. Kean Hall took many in the Columbine, and this time it's Nero with the shot, easy as you like. That's why he takes those penalties. 7-2 now. This team in yellow before the game really big does run away from them. A 7-2, it's not over yet. Roberto Zeta with the back line hitting, looking for a run of Rob Janavis. Rob Janavis will get there in front of Diego Kavanagh, but just shanks the shot a little, but he'll come back onto it. It'll still work for Rob Janavis. He leaves it, though, for Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh using Rob as a blocker initially, and then runs a little bit himself. Carry it yourself was the call for Zeta. Hits it long, hard. He's broken the stick, so he'll have to go off and change, leaving Colorado man short in attack, but what a shot! But it's just wide to the right-hand side. Unlucky there for Colorado in striking distance, just wide to the right-hand side. Diego Kavanagh may feel if a stick hadn't broken, that pass would have been even sweeter. But Spinacci just hits it wide for right-hand side. Minute and 45 remaining here in the fourth chukker. It's 7-2. Adolfo Cambiasso. Tapping it in, giving the ball now to Kean Hall. Kean Hall will pick it up in plenty of space in front of any of the Colorado defenders. Pablo Spinacci's closing him down, as is Roberto Zeta, but Kian Hall has Bob Janavas out in front of him. Roberto Zeta had to make the play, and he just about does. Knowing that Pablo Spinacci's behind him, he will take the hook as well, and Spinacci will just tap it round in a little circle in front of both Kian Hall and Adolfo Cambiasso, who's in close. So I know Adolfo Cambiasso's one back, and it's Rob Janavas now out in front. Cambiasso coming in for the hook. Rob Janavas, cool as you like, out in front, half swing away from the goal for Colorado. What a finish by Rob Janavas. 7 goals to 3 now, his side trail. That's the trick when you play against Adolfo Cambiasso. They saw that he'd been drawn in. In came Janavas, easy as you like, tapping it through into the 30. Making it 7 goals to 3 now. Adolfo Cambiasso hits the ball in down the line, looking for a run of Agustin Nero. Nero on a fast grey out there, takes on Spinacci, but the ball bounces over the boards. It will be a roll in. 45 seconds just under remaining here in this 4th chukker. Second of our games, of course, here in the Colorado Open today. Kentucky, the champions of the Columbine. They have had their 2nd defeat in this tournament, which rules them out of the running to be in the final next weekend. Hawaii Polo Life with arguably the performance so far of the season, winning out that one convincingly. But here, Colorado looking to make it 7-4 going into the 5th. Roberto Zeta with the shot down the ground. Diego Cavanagh's going to get there. Kavanagh with the tap. Cambiasso saw Nero caught meted, and Diego Kavanagh scores the goal. And the quick 1-2 right at the end of the 4th here puts Colorado in with a chance. It was lovely polo here. Roberto Zeta picking it up. You see Diego Kavanagh going through as we just hear the bell behind us, ending the chukker. Kavanagh picking it up. Nero was waiting, but his horse just cheated him out a little bit to the right. And that will be the end of the 4th chukker. 7 goals to 4. Colorado coming back into it. And Bob Janavas, he is out there on Directora, who's a full sister of Primicia, who won the best playing pony in the British Open 2 times. So the bloodline out here is strong again for Valiente. But it's Nero who's going to pick it up out there on Rose. The New Zealand thoroughbred mare Rose. Nero now putting the speed on. He gets past Spinacci. Behind him is Diego Kavanagh. It's Kavanagh who eventually comes on to play as Bob Janavas puts on the pressure. Kavanagh with the backhand. Good play by Kavanagh. Finding Spinacci. Colorado beginning to run now. And Spinacci in front of Kian Hall. Kian Hall, though, does a good job. Spinacci appealing for a foul. And a late whistle from the referee. It looked to me like Kian Hall may have just got underneath a swing there of Pablo Spinacci. As we go back to the instant replay. Good first pickup by Spinacci. Clever play. He drew in Kian Hall. Knew exactly what he was doing. Manufactured the foul. And it's going to be a close penalty too. And a chance here to make it 7 goals to 5. And just wonder, having been pegged back in the last game like they were, what will the mindset of Valiente be with a score like this? Diego Kavanagh coming round. Spoke in the last game of his prowess from the penalty shot, one of the most reliable penalty takers round the world. 30-yarder, easy as you like, through the centre of the goal, and it is 7 goals to 5 here right at the beginning of the 5th and penultimate chukker. Suddenly the game is beginning to turn. Adolfo Cambiasso will tap it in. Bob Janavas staying closer this time. Back to the tested formula of Janavas taking on the oncoming Rob Janavas. But Adolfo Cambiasso sees the chance to run. Adolfo Cambiasso now looking to go, seeing where his players are. They've all come in behind. Kian Hall now makes a late run up. Rob Janavas, though, making life difficult for Adolfo. And much like we saw in the last play, it was Rob Janavas just coming under the swing of Adolfo there. The whistle's been blown. Rob's not happy. But Adolfo will take that all day long. Just tapping. You see here, just has a quick look behind him. He knows exactly again what he's doing. Just tapping that ball. Rob comes in. Adolfo, full swing. And that's going to be a penalty against Colorado. So Roberto Zeta out there on this chuck. We must mention his pony. Delfina Ida was best playing pony in the Columbine Cup. And it was out of Adolfo Cambiasso's Edna, which has played and won both the US and Argentine Open. So just another example of quality of horses we have out here as we see another 40-yarder from Adolfo Cambiasso go straight through the goal. 8 goals to 5 now then. Easy as you like from Adolfo. Ball on the back line with Colorado. They need to get the next goal back again, keep the momentum that they have, and it's there with Roberto Zeta. Coming in to meet him is Kian Hall. Diego Kavanagh thought about the block, but then moves out left, wanting the pass, and that's where it's delivered by Roberto Zeta. Diego Kavanagh in space. Down the ground now goes Zeta, also Spinacci and Rob Janavis. A long lofted pass by Diego Kavanagh, but spotting the danger was Agustin Nero. Nero over the top of the ball. A rare backhand mistake from him. Janavis hooked up the play by Adolfo, and as only Adolfo can do, he comes away with the ball as well. Having a look to see now where Bob Janavis go. Bob Janavis wanting the pass, but it's hit instead to Kian Hall. Hall ridden out of it well by Rob Janavis, and Roberto Zeta claiming the line. Having a look now. They've got to be clever here. They've got Cambiasso isolated on his own. Now what can Diego Kavanagh do? Just flicks it to the right of Agustin Nero. No one from Valiente can touch the ball with it is as it there. As Kian Hall does manage to steal it. Great play by Kian Hall coming through the crowd of Colorado players. It's getting a little bit scrappy up there in the centre. And Jens Spinacci finds Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh, you could see what he was thinking, but he couldn't quite get the ball. And it's going to fall now for Adolfo on the counter. Adolfo Cambiasso picks it up when all else failed, and he hits a shot just a little bit too long. And it's there with, oh no, Roberto Zeta over the top as well. Adolfo Cambiasso now with the tap, approaching the 60. Cambiasso with the shot towards the goal, but he shanked it left. It's going to go wide. What a chance for Adolfo to make it 9-5. 3.5 minutes here remaining in the fifth. Ball on the back line, Roberto Zeta again. The set plays have been generally good from Colorado so far. And here you see the tactic again. Keep it close, keep it short. Allow Diego Kavanagh to take that ball down the ground as Pablo Spinacci makes the pass. Looking to get Bob Janavis out there with the back with him. Kavanagh, though, decides to take on Agustin Nero, but he may come to regret it as Nero is able to pick it up on the near side. Lovely under the next shot, but he hasn't found enough angle to pick out either of his teammates. So Kian Hall, Adolfo says, take the stick, picks up the foul. Great play by Adolfo Cambiasso. Roberto Zeta had to hit the backhand there. We'll see that on the instant replay. Adolfo Cambiasso, just look at him reading it. He says to Kian, you go, take the man, and then if Roberto taps it round as he did, I'm going to pick up the foul. And it's going to be a close penalty again to Valiente, I'd imagine. Probably a penalty too, 30-yarder. A couple of players going off to change. So it will be a brief break, but this could make it 9-5. Halfway through this fifth chuck, and it's actually going to be a 40. Nero it is, teeing up. He then just moves away from the ball, allowing Adolfo Cambiasso to take over duties, and you'll be imagine it is the 10-goal Adolfo who will take. Adolfo, unique in any sport around the world, how long he has been at the top of the world game. As we just begin to hear thunder over the field here, and it is actually going to be Agustin Nero coming round to take on a fresh pony. Lining it up. See this drone view again, how simple it is for us to see how that ball goes. And that one travels straight through the middle of the goal. Lovely penalty shot by Agustin Nero. 9-5 now. They lead with less than 3 minutes remaining in the fifth and penultimate chukker. Colorado need to get a move on here. As Roberto Zeta brings it back in off the back line again. You see the formation by Colorado. Diego Kavanagh just floating and will pick the ball up in space in front of Kian Hall, who finds himself in no man's land. Diego Kavanagh with the shot down the boards, over the boards. Frustration for Colorado just as they thought they were getting away. And the ball is back in play. It's there in the middle of the lineup with Roberto Zeta under pressure from Kian Hall. Kian Hall looking to get there. The umpires blow their whistle. We saw that one right up and close. It's another case of a player riding into an opposition player's swing. Just waiting to see if we get the replay on that one. But Kian Hall right in front of the umpires. Thought he might get away with it. In Polo these days, very rare to see a whistle blown in a lineup. But as you see, Zeta coming round. Went for the full swing. Another slightly manufactured one, but that's the game. Roberto just drawing Kian Hall right in there. And it will be Roberto Zeta again to come round and take this spot hit. Diego Kavanagh staying close. He will take out Kian Hall initially anyway, allowing Roberto Zeta a chance to come on the inside. And now the field opens up a little for him. Adolfo Cambiaso's next. Roberto Zeta thought about the big shot, thought better of it. He's got time if he wanted to go on a run. Instead, he hits the pass up, looking for Pablo Spinacci. There, though, as well, is Adolfo Cambiaso. Spinacci's going to have to hit a big backhand from here, which he does, but no one in his team was able to read it. Oh, Kavanagh gets a bit of a lucky bounce. Bob Janavis, he's there, and he clears it with a wonderful little open flick backhand. Kian Hall now coming onto the play. It's Hall in front of Rob Janavis. Under 2 minutes remaining here in the fifth, and it's Kian Hall now bouncing ball, can't quite pick it up. Rob Janavis does a slightly better job of it and now taps it round, finding his teammate Roberto Zeta. Zeta leaves it behind. Lovely backhand by Janavis, but it's to nobody, and Adolfo Cambiaso will turn it round with plenty of time. Cambiaso using Bob Janavis as the blocker. Great work there by two-goaler Bob Janavis to take away Diego Kavanagh. Cambiaso just continues to tap that ball up the field. Taking it out left now. Great play by Adolfo. Cambiaso with plenty of space. Flicks it out right. Oh, he thought Bob was there, and Bob does manage to come back onto it with plenty of time. Lovely polo there by Janavis, and he now comes through, seeing Agustin Nero up the front. Zedovo needs to find the open backhand, and he does, but it's only gone for Kian Hall. Hall unable to get anything on it, and there is now Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh with the tap under the attention of Agustin Nero. Still Kian Hall. The relentless Kian Hall in the way he works for making space for his two Argentine high goal pros, as it's there now right in a rut. Who's going to come away with the ball? It may yet be Kian Hall. Spinacci claiming for foul. The umpire's pointing, saying it's there for you if you want it, and it's going to be Rob Janavis eventually who picks it up as the game comes right down to a standstill with 30 seconds remaining in this fifth chukker. Roberto Zeta eventually is the man to come away with it. Nero, he puts him off, and Diego Kavanagh, now we're going again. Diego Kavanagh looking to take on Adolfo. Good hook there by Agustin Nero as it falls now for Roberto Zeta. Roberto Zeta will hit it long down the ground, but again the pass is too short, and if Nero finds a backhand, Adolfo and Kian, they could be away. Kian will be told to take the man if he can and leave it for Adolfo. That's the call, and Cambiaso with the shot. Kian Gog won't be able to get there in front of Roberto Zeta, and there is Pablo Spinacci. Final second of this chukker before we hear the first bell, signalling 30 left. Spinacci now taking it up towards the boards, looking for a run of Roberto Zeta. It goes over the boards, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the fifth chukker. Valiente lead 9-5, and Colorado up against it here. That side, of course, did feature Diego Kavanagh and Matias Torres Zavaleta, Adolfo Cambiaso. They're all here playing, and Adolfo Cambiaso picks it out the line out. So often he does find his space where others can't, hitting the open backhand, looking for Agustin Nero. Big hit there by Agustin Nero. The players wanted something there, but the umpires say nothing wrong with it. It was just hard but fair. And Kian Hall now on the near side, up in pressure against Rob Janavis. And Janavis, he's there and just ushers the ball over the back line, and it will be Colorado ball. It's a real big bump and a ride off by Agustin Nero. I think a couple of the yellow shirts were asking questions, but the umpire said absolutely fair. So it's picked up here by Roberto Zeta off the back line. Look for a run of the players. Everyone went left, and now a whole load of them go right as well. All in unison there, the Colorado players in their movements, as it falls for Rob Janavis. Rob Janavis appealing for a foul. The umpires blow their whistle. Coming round, out there on his favourite horse, Roxy. Says he always leaves it to the last. Such a comfortable platform to hit it, and you can see just why there. It's a lovely penalty. It's got the height, and it's very accurate as well. What a shot by Diego Kavanagh. 9-6 now, his side trail. Rob Janavis is out there on Gatita, and Roberto Zeta, he is on Bomba, which is a granddaughter of Quattrotera. Of course, that famous Adolfo Cambiaso lineage, Quattrotera. Cambiaso just taps the ball on the inside of Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh putting on the pressure. Good play by Bob Janavis to take Rob Janavis out, and he now goes to Diego. Adolfo, though, with a little golf shot. Look at Bob Janavis taking Diego Kavanagh away from the situation there, allowing Agustin Nero plenty of time on the ball here. All his players settling behind as Nero now looks to run. Kian Hall coming in behind Nero, slowing it down. Adolfo Cambiaso will wait patiently for a gap. Boy, he'll help Agustin Nero out by blocking the man as he does there. Nero appeals for a foul, nothing coming. Kian Hall, he's the next one there. Kian Hall puts on the speed, and he's running through here. Kian Hall, he's in front of Spinacci. Kian Hall, can he finish it off? It's going to roll. It's not going to roll in though, and Diego Kavanagh will clear it wide with the near side clearance. Now, Colorado, can they counter? Diego Kavanagh picking up the ball. He's going to hope it stays in play, which it does. Adolfo Cambiaso's drawn in, so he's got to hit it, but he just keeps it a little bit close. He's still got the chance, so he's got Spinacci and Roberto Zeta both in front of him. The pass is long, and the pass is good for Pablo Spinacci. Spinacci called off the play. Kian Hall, he comes there. Roberto Zeta, he wanted a whistle. The umpires had a look, but they said no. And Kian Hall will Leave it for Adolfo Cambiasso. Adolfo Cambiasso, long lofted drive down the ground, looking for Kian Hall, who continued the run. Diego Kavanagh, though, ridden out the play. Great play by Kian Hall, and now he continues to run. If Agustin Nero sees him, he's gone. Nero with the tap. He may leave it. He's got Adolfo Cambiasso coming in behind. Wait was the call from Adolfo, and the ball eventually finds itself onto the end of Adolfo's stick. Going out left. Coming in now is Roberto Zed. Adolfo Cambiasso opens up the speed. He's capable of hitting a cut shot from here if he fancies it. He hits it high. He hits it straight towards the goal. It's got the accuracy, but it doesn't have the distance, so Diego Kavanagh can bring it away. Kavanagh now, we're in for the final 3 minutes here of his final chucker. Kavanagh over the top, but it doesn't matter because Roberto Zed, he's there. Adolfo Cambiasso drawn in. Zed would be wise to look here for Diego Kavanagh, which he does. In fact, it goes all the way up for Spinacci. Spinacci coming across Kian Hall, right into his own man. The umpires say nothing was wrong with it as Spinacci now. This could make it game on for the final 3 minutes here. Spinacci with the shot. Has he overcooked it? It's all with lucky deflection. It may yet fall for Janavis. Great clearing shot by Kian Hall. Having a look behind him, he's got Janavis in his slipstream, but he just slowed down on the boards. Big bump in the ride off though by Rob Janavis. Lovely play from him. The danger not over. Janavis gives it to Diego Kavanagh as the rain begins to fall. Kavanagh just coming in on the inside of Adolfo Cambiasso. Cambiasso leaving it now for Roberto Zeda. Zeda coming up towards Kian Hall. Too much of it shown. Diego Kavanagh now picking it up, making his way up towards that goal still. Oh, bump and a ride off there. Agustin Nero. The whistle is gone, and this one's going to be close for Colorado. You see here on this replay. Good play initially by Hall. Picked up here by Diego Kavanagh. Nero stuck. Nothing Diego Kavanagh could do but go straight into the waiting. Diego Kavanagh with the shot rolling through the goal. No mistake at all. 7-9. Still just over 2 minutes left in this one. Still anybody's game. Adolfo Cambiasso with the tap. Going left is Agustin Nero. He then goes right, so Cambiasso will keep it close as Bob Janavis looks to take Rob Janavis away. So Pablo Spinacci, he comes in instead, but Adolfo Cambiasso, he's gone. He's gone out left, keeping possession for himself, keeping it safe as he now just slows down under the close attention of Spinacci. Cambiasso looks left for Bob Janavis. Bob Janavis will get there first. Bouncing ball, can't quite pick it up. Now Colorado need to convert from here. It's left for Roberto Zeda. It's 3 Colorado players taking on Adolfo Cambiasso on his own. Zeda going way out wide to the right-hand side. He's giving himself a big angle with the neck shot. What a shot by Zeda, looking for Diego Kavanagh. Kavanagh on the near side, left behind. The pressure of Adolfo Cambiasso enough to put Kavanagh off. That was the chance that Colorado needed. Turning onto it is Agustin Nero, but a whistle from the umpire. Roberto Zeda was coming there. Adolfo Cambiasso, he's complaining. What can he do here? 30 yards out. Half swing. Easy as you like through the centre of the goal. And it is 8-9. And with a minute left, we could very well be going into overtime. Adolfo Cambiasso with the ball on the back line, though. He looks at the clock. Taking it left. Rob Janavis going to put on the pressure. If you're Adolfo, do you look to hit it long and make Colorado have to work hard for any chance? That's exactly what he's done. And Kian Hall in space. Kian Hall now, it's a game of keep ball now for Valiente. And Kian Hall looks to make it more. He's got the speed to get past Roberto Zeda. Kian Hall looking to end it here with a shot towards the goal. Roberto Zeda, he's got his man though. He's got his leg in front. And he'll just watch that ball going towards the goal. And it's over the back line. So it will be Colorado possession. And with 30 seconds left in this game, there's time, but they've got to be quick. Valiente will be desperate not to give away a foul here. The umpires wait for Kian Hall. They say play. 25 seconds left in this game. Colorado need to get on with it. Roberto Zeda, he taps it in. It takes just about 10 seconds to go the length of the field. Colorado look to go, but Zeda leaves it a little bit short for Kavanagh, forcing him back on the near side. Under pressure from Kian Hall. Now Diego Kavanagh leaves it behind. Ooh, Nero coming in. Rob Janavis may have had the line. It's picked up eventually by Spinacci. Went for final 2 seconds. That will be that, you would think, for this game, as Adolfo Cambiasso just picks it up on the near side. They haven't blown the horn yet. Picked up again by Adolfo Cambiasso. The clock has said the time is out. Adolfo hits the ball, and there eventually does go the horn to end the game. And it's Valiente who eventually win 9-8. The players haven't heard it yet, but it is the end of the game. 9-8. Valiente, they take their place in the final next Saturday as they continue to play on. I don't think the players have horn. Now surely they'll hear it from there. They do again hear the horn going. It will be Valiente in the final. And how about this? Colorado, they will play Hawaii Polo Life. and the winner of that game will be the team that meets Valiente in that big final on the day of the Polo Festival.